Today, what the fuck is going on today? I don't know at this point. Like, you know, I've been very talking about my relationship and everything for a while. Past like fucking, I don't even know, 5 videos now or something. Okay. I think I know what to talk about. So, me and her were talking yesterday. It was late at night, and we were talking about how we both hate each other's like nature, like the gender. I hate women's nature to some degree, something to it, and she hates male nature to some degree, right? And this is what we were talking about. You know, the thing is, it's like, this is gonna sound real bad or whatever, but to who exactly? I hate women. I hate women's nature. And I'll try to explain why. Because, you know, she has her own reasoning behind why she hates men and men's nature and everything. So, I guess it's not even I guess. There's this feeling of women run on emotions and no real logic. And most of the time aren't taking responsibility or accountability for their actions. And I'm like, this is gonna. So I mean, I'm like, oh god, this is so controversial. Out of all the things that I've said, why am I so uncomfortable with this? I don't know. It's not as bad as it used to be. So there's also like this hatred, you know. And I don't ever want to look at myself as I'm a misogynist. Like, I don't fucking feel this way. But there is this underlying hatred towards women's nature because I had an expectation of how I thought women were. You know, sugar and spice and everything nice. Turns out it's really not that way. Learning that unconditional love doesn't exist, right? And just learning about how women actually are and what they actually end up going after in a man versus what it is that I thought they ended up liking. And I feel like a lot of men go through this whole process where they had a perception of how women were when they were growing up, and then I want to bring it up to some degree. I was saying that I feel like a lot of men go through this process of, you think women are a certain way, and I'm just going to say for myself, it's like I thought women were a certain way, and you know, there's this typical nice guy fucking persona that every woman wants in a man, you know, but they don't have this self-awareness to the point. I really want a nice guy, and then every single fucking boyfriend they ended up getting with was an asshole. Every single one. So what's the longest relationship you were in? And it's mostly he's always a dickhead. It's never, oh my god, he was so sweet and amazing and all this shit. You know, it's always, yeah, he's a fucking dick. It's a fucking asshole. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you respect that to some degree. You don't want to push over, but this is the problem. I don't know what the balance is, okay? I was Mr. Nice Person. And it's not that, oh, I'm a dickhead now. Like, no, it's not about that. But, like, I was Mr. Nice Person. I was Mr. trying to be open and vulnerable and show my sensitive side, but a little too much. I am very sensitive, though. I'm extremely sensitive. But I was too, I was oversharing too much. And I would just expose my vulnerability too quickly, even though I'm saying a lot of things on here, on YouTube or whatever. But I don't know, there's just this, right now I'm kind of lost, to be honest, in this whole conversation. Because it's like, I don't know, I used to listen to Patrice O'Neal, like I said. I used to listen to all this red pill shit. Like checking my fuel, there we go. I used to listen to all this red pill shit when I was like 22 and everything, all the way up to like 24, to be honest. And I was still listening to Patrice O'Neal when I was, you know, in the relationship with my girlfriend currently. But I don't know, like, there is a humongous misunderstanding between men and women. And there's a humongous mistrust between men and women. Like, that's what I mean. And this is why I keep saying, like, this issue on men and women and everything, like, we are completely different animals. As much as people want to say, oh, men and women aren't that different, we are very different. And I don't know who these people are that say this shit, that say men and women aren't that different. I'm like, have you been with a woman? Is she just like you, honestly? Or are you just full of shit? Like, and that's what I usually believe in, is just, you're full of shit. Shut the fuck up. All right? Your woman's not just like you. You know, it's like, and sometimes I do say that about my girlfriend. I'm like, oh yeah, she's just like me. You know, but we're very different on so many different levels. Yes, there's a lot of things that I feel like we match up on, but there's a shit ton of things, obviously, that we don't match up on. Like this whole fucking monogamy issue or whatever. And that's what I mean. It's just like, I just feel like men and women are very, very different. They want to live completely differently. Like, I even told this to my girlfriend. I was like, even if I was monogamous, there's still so many problems that will arise, no matter like what relationship I end up getting in, monogamous or non-monogamous or whatever the fuck. Like, I want to be with women, and I feel like I'm not compatible with them, you know. But I'm not gay, so it's like, oh well, go be with a dude. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I can't do that shit. So fuck me, huh? Like, I'm at this hard point. Oh yeah. Oh, let me turn that down. I didn't realize how loud that is. Anyways, I just, and that's this fucking issue. And I'm like this mistrust. Like, I can't love a woman fully or something, or there's this distance that I'm always keeping. And I always have this gut feeling inside of myself that's like, nope, I don't trust you all the way. Nope, you can't know everything about me, or you can't get that close to me. So my girlfriend knows pretty much everything about me, but at the same time, this is the interesting thing as well. When you're in a relationship, yeah, there's facts and things that you know about your partner and everything, but again, you change throughout time. So all the things that I've confessed, you know, on YouTube, for example, yeah, those are the things about me, those are the facts about me, but who am I today? You know, oh, I know everything about you. I'm like, no, you know everything about that person. You know everything about that person and that video that I made on YouTube whatever amount of time ago. But you don't know me today, because I don't know me today. I don't know what I'm going through. That's what I mean. Every single day I'm fucking doing this goddamn shit. And I'm changing and I'm evolving, always and forever. I don't think there's going to be a point where I'm like, yep, I am this now, and I am established in this role of whichever I'm playing. I don't think that's ever going to happen to me personally. I mean, anyways, though, it's just like, I don't want to get back on topic. I want to stay with whatever the fuck, like, this is what I do. Like, I guess just this overall feeling is, yeah, I just have this mistrust. Now, was I hurt super badly by a woman? I mean, yes and no. Like, like, this is the first real relationship I've been in. I put a lot of that red pill thinking in everything, Patrice O'Neal and stuff, in my head. There's a lot of things that I do believe about men and women dynamics. But it's all questionable still. You know, because when I was at the height of my red pill philosophies, I really felt like I was on top of the world, like I said. But then I met my girlfriend, and I realized I'm not really this person. I'm not this red pill, alpha, fucking man person. Oh yeah, bitches all over the place on my dick. Like, I'm not that way. I feel very sensitive. I feel very, I'm not like very emotional, but I can be. Overall, I'm just sensitive. I don't have this, like, I don't have this super hard shell. Like I did when I was all Mr. Manly, but at the end of the day, I was like, this is horseshit. Like, this is not how I am, and this is not how I want to be. You know, and me and my girlfriend were talking about this. Past me being a man, past her being a woman, we were trying to look at each other as people. Where she's trying to look at me as a person versus me being a man and all the characteristics that come with me having dick and balls, right? And I was trying to look at her as just a person instead of a person with a vagina, a woman with a vagina and the ability to have babies and all of this other whatever things I think about women, you know? I'm just trying to look at her as a person past all the evil that I think she has as a woman. You know, and that's the thing. I just feel like men and women's nature, just the nature aspect. And I think I'm starting to understand my girlfriend a little bit better now. Why she hates all of this stuff. And she hates all of the nature. She hates women nature. She hates man nature. She hates human nature. I feel like I was going through this same kind of process a little bit when I was talking about all this existential shit. Because it's been a little bit since I talked about it, but I said that I was wanting to get away from my humanity. And I was wanting to be more evolved of some sort. But I don't even know what that means exactly still. But I guess I feel what she means now. Like, she just hates all of this shit. She hates all of this nature. It's all nonsense, you know? And I'm starting to feel that same way a little bit. I'm still trying to embrace my nature, my manhood, my hormones, my sexuality, my testosterone, whatever you want to call it. I'm still trying to embrace it. While I have it, I'm trying to accept that I have it. I'm not trying to get rid of it necessarily. I want it to naturally go away. I want to explore that. I want to have a healthy sex life. And yes, in my male nature, I feel like I'm not monogamous, right? But, and this is a great question. Wow, here we go. And this is probably going to make her think. If I completely stripped away my male nature, right, would I be not monogamous? And to answer your question, I still feel like yes, I would. Even if my balls fall off and I get rid of all the testosterone in my fucking body, right? I feel like I can love multiple women still and would want that, you know, and would want to take care of multiple women. Here's the other thing, and this is the other hard question. It's like, why am I not enough? This is what my girlfriend always asks me. I'm like, damn, why do I have to ask myself this question? Because it's always so difficult. And I'm like, and this is how I look at it. This is how I look at it. Why can't I just talk to one person? Because my girlfriend says this to me. It's just, she's just like, all I need is you. All I need is you. She doesn't even need her mom. She doesn't need nobody. She doesn't need friends. She just needs me. She doesn't need her dad, grandma, grandpa, nobody. She doesn't need any of them. She just wants to be with me, and I'm like, she wants me to be her everything. at the end of the day, she also was still like, okay, listen, I don't know, actually. I don't know. No. I feel like she wants me to just be with her. And like, that's it. It's just me. She doesn't need nobody else. She doesn't need to have conversations with nobody else. She doesn't need support from nobody else. Just me. And I think about Esther Perel, this psychologist, this relationship therapist, whoever. She said that, I can't remember exactly what the quote was, but she said, what once was taken care of by a village, we now expect in our partner. The whole community, all the other different parts and characteristics of that community needs to be in one. I need my partner to be my best friend, my confidant, my lover, my everything. You know? That's what I mean. It's a romanticized ideal. And that's the thing. I'm like, okay, my girlfriend's my girlfriend. But she doesn't replace my best friend. She doesn't replace my mother. She doesn't replace my father, or even my brother, and my coworkers, and other people that I talk to on my route. And that's the problem. I'm like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm like, well, and then you know, my defense mechanism wants to say, well, why am I not good enough? Why is whatever I'm giving you not good enough? You know, it's not enough what I'm giving you. She feels the same way. It's not enough what I'm giving you, and it's never enough. And that's the human condition. It's never enough. And I've talked about this whole idea of ambition and gratitude and how they're conflicting all the time. But I don't want to repeat myself. You know, she says she's not good enough. But I don't want to say that, though. I don't want to be like, oh, you're not good enough. I'm like, I have my best friend because you're not good enough. I'm like, I don't know. I don't like that. I'm like, I want it to be all right for me to want to get support from my mom, for example, or my dad, or my best friend, or my coworkers versus my support from her. You know, there's only so much she can do for me as my girlfriend. She can't be my everything. And this is the only thing that I told her anyways. I was like, the only thing missing from you is the novelty of another woman. I have that desire inside of myself, and I don't want to suppress it. And that's the other thing. It's like, oh, okay, you say that you love your girlfriend to death, but you can't control your dick from sticking your dick in some other whores and bitches. Why can't you do that? And I'm like, why do I have to? And that's my problem. I'm like, I don't think there's a good reason for me to quote unquote control my dick. You know, I don't feel that. I don't see there's a reason that I need to stop. She's afraid, like I said, of me just leaving her. She has abandonment issues. She's afraid of me. Okay, that's not even it. In the moment, this is what she told me. In the moment when I'm kissing another woman, she feels abandoned. And I was like, I don't know how to. And then I was talking to her about my best friend and how I'm like, okay, I hang out with him, right? And that's all right. I can hang out with my best friend. You don't have a problem with that. But as soon as he sucks my dick, now we have an issue. And I'm like, why? You know, if that ends up happening. I'm like, is it, and this is the problem. I'm like, the only reason I'm controlling my dick, quote unquote, is because of a threat. And I'm like, that's not a good reason. That's not a good reason for me to be monogamous. You know, you being afraid and then me suppressing myself just for your own fears, I feel like is a disservice to both of us. That's my opinion. You know, again, like, yeah, I don't need to back up on that statement, to be honest. Like, this is how I fucking feel. It's not a good reason to me. It never has been. I have this feeling towards that. That's why I always have this problem with men and women dynamics, because I believe, again, men in general are not monogamous. And women in general are monogamous. It's just nature. And that's the thing. It's two conflicting natures. And that's why I was just, to wrap it all back together, it's like men and women have two completely conflicting natures. And that's why I said, even if I was monogamous, there's so many other fucking things that I don't match with my girlfriend. I don't live the same way. I don't think the same way about a relationship. I don't think men and women do think the same way about relationships. We simply don't. And that's why there's so many goddamn problems. That's why there's so many arguments. That's why there's so many fucking breakups. Because we don't match. Men and women do not match. We don't think the same fucking way. Yet we are, in general, sexually attracted to each other. You know, the norm and the reproductive process is between a man and a woman. It's not between a man and a man or a woman and a woman. To reproduce and to create more humans on this planet, men and women need to be together. But that's the problem. Throughout millennia, men, most of the time, would impregnate a whole lot of women. And even women would have sex with lots of different men. And the way our bodies are, the way a male penis is, like all the genetics and the biology behind everything, there's no evidence of monogamy anywhere. You know, there's no monogamy in mammals at all. Like, except gibbons and a couple other weird birds. Like, that's it. But there's no monogamous fucking mammals. And that's why I was talking about the arrogance of humanity is we're trying to get away from the animal. We're trying to be civilized. And whatever is good for society is good. And that's what I mean. Oh, this polygamy or this polyamory or whatever is not good for civilization as a whole. It's not structured. It's too messy. It's not the narrative here. That's why it's so heavily shamed. That's why it's so not the norm. That's why it's not regulated at all. It's not regular. It's not. What's regulated is monogamy. This is the narrative behind monogamy. Get married, have kids, and live the fucking yeah. That's why I said there's a whole lot of cheating, deception, because we are animals trying to be not animals. Because we're arrogant cunts. And that's the thing I don't like about the majority. It's like we're not fucking better than our nature. Yet we want to be so desperately. It's the grand ambition of monogamy. But it's bullshit. And I do believe women are monogamous in general. Like the way they're structured, even though I just said that like they would have sex with multiple men, but at the end of the day, it's like women can be pregnant with one baby or twins or what. You get my point though. It's like one sperm makes it to the egg. All right, one piece of gene makes it there. Just one. You know, out of all the goddamn sperm, one makes it. That's it and that's all. But for men, you can impregnate shit tons of women. You know, you have 150 million sperm. It only takes one to get one woman pregnant. So all my 150 million sperm is just for you? Like that's the problem. I'm like, it's not just for you. It never has been. And that's why I mean this confliction that I feel. I'm like, I have this problem with monogamy. I've always had the problem. Even when I was a kid, I was in fucking elementary school. I liked like 6 girls. And I remember I looked at myself like, that's gross. I remember I said, I like 6 girls. I remember I said that to somebody. And they're like, ew, gross. You're supposed to only like one woman. Like, I was shamed even at that age for liking multiple women. Like, I liked all of them. I thought they could all be my girlfriend, but I wasn't fucking anything at that point. You know, I didn't have the confidence to nothing. I'm not even going to say that I have the confidence now to have 6 women in my life. No, I fucking don't. I already told you, I don't want to handle more than like having my main girlfriend right now and a couple, maybe just one other woman right now. That's not even my full-blown something girlfriend. And then a couple other women that would enjoy my company or something. I would enjoy their company. You know, but they would understand the situation. That I have a girlfriend. A majority of my attention and time is given to her. Like, that's how I feel at this point. She kept asking me, what's the difference too? What's the difference? You know, if I'm doing the same act, like I'm kissing another woman, what's the difference between me kissing her and me kissing another woman? I'm like, energy, everything. It's completely different. When I got with that other woman back in May, yeah, I was kissing her. Yeah, I was sucking on her titties. You know, yeah, I was doing all these things that I do with my girlfriend or whatever, right? But it's different. Yes, the action, quote unquote, might be the same, but the feeling isn't at all. It's a completely different energy. It's a completely different feeling. And that's the desire that I have inside of me, is this difference. And why it's there is because this is the reproductive process. Like, men are not meant to just stay with one woman. It's like, okay, it's just a natural process. Like, when you've been having sex with one woman for whatever amount of time, eventually your brain's like, okay, you have conquered this woman or whatever. This is just the nature, okay? I'm not saying I'm conquering women, all right? This is just what the fuck is going on nature-wise. And there's this biological subconscious message going on in my head. It's like, okay, I am not as interested in having sex with this woman. I want a new woman. And, you know, there's that whole experiment with this scientist called Coolidge. Coolidge or whatever, the Coolidge effect. And Dr. Coolidge, way back in whatever the fuck time, did an experiment with rats. And he experimented with these rats, one male rat and a bunch of female rats. And he would send one female rat in with this one male, and eventually the male rat would get tired and stop having sex with the female rat. But then he'd throw a new rat in, a new female rat, and then the male rat would go to town again. And then he would rinse and repeat this process of a new female rat, and then this male rat would fuck to exhaustion, you know? And that's just nature. It's like, this is the reproductive process. Men are supposed to spread their seed. It's like, once I have spread my seed to a particular woman, there is this feeling of, okay, on to the next. You know? But again, on a sexual level, this is the feeling. I don't want to leave my girlfriend. I don't want to leave my girlfriend. I want to have sex with another woman, but I don't want to leave. And also, I could take care of multiple women. It's all about emotional capacity. Again, do I want to do that right now? Fuck no. Okay, in my mind, it sounds all good in the hood, all right, but it's not in reality. If I had a bunch of fucking money and all this goddamn shit, I would have a house full of women that I'm all taken care of, right? If I could. Every guy wants a fucking harem. It's just a matter of practicality, you know? And that's the other thing. It's practicality is the problem. Society and the way this is structured is the problem. But male nature is male nature. And that's what I mean. It's like civilization is trying to strip people of their nature. And that's why we're not animals anymore. We are a civilized people. Yet those animal tendencies seem to slip in, and all the higher elite people that have controlled their urges and are disciplined creatures, fuck them. And that's how I look at them. I'm like, you're arrogant. You're not better than I am because you control your dick. All right, and again, I even said this in my last fucking video, or last couple videos. It's like, I don't just fuck everybody, and I don't do that. I am very selective. I am very, very selective. When I have sex with a woman, it's like, again, I told you, I've only been with 5 women. Well, that's your problem. Shut the fuck up. All right? No, I'm very selective. A woman's energy is very important to me. All right? But again, I could have multiple energies with multiple women. It's just there. It's there. I don't know how to explain it any more than I've already explained it. The only way to explain it is for you to be a fucking man. And if you're not a man, you don't get it. And that's the same thing. I even told this to my girlfriend. I'm like, it's like me trying to explain this whole thing about my male nature is the same. It's akin to her trying to explain to me what it's like to be pregnant, what it feels like to be pregnant, what it feels like to have a baby growing inside of you. Like, I'll never understand that even if she tries to explain it to ad nauseum, I'll never fucking get it. It's impossible to understand. It's not comprehensible for me. I don't have that. I don't have that fucking thing inside of me. I don't have a uterus. All right, I can't have children. All right, I can't make babies. I don't know what that's like. Same thing with me trying to explain the menstrual cycle. Like, who the fuck am I? I'm not a woman. How can I tell a woman, like, hey, you know, this is what it feels like to have a period? Like, really? Like, who the fuck are you, dick and balls? Like, what the fuck is that? And that's what I mean. It's like, when a woman tells me, like, because I hear this all the time. Okay, my girlfriend said this in the past. She doesn't really say it anymore. But, you know, this problem with, right, because that's how it's looked at. It's a problem, male nature. This problem with men not being monogamous. This problem with men can't control their dicks, right? It is so heavily marginalized, our issue that men have, right? It's not looked at as a serious problem. It's looked at as you lack discipline. But I'm like, women aren't shamed for their nature at all. And I even explained this to her. I'm like, the desire that I have to go get with another woman, that novelty craving, this feeling of another woman, right, is as strong as the desire for a woman to want to have babies or whatever. Like, this is the comparison. That's why I'm like, I'm not shaming you for you wanting to have children. Everybody's like, oh my God, she wants to have a baby. It's so amazing. But as soon as I say I want to have multiple girlfriends, I'm a piece of shit, right? I'm shamed. You're a fucking piece of shit, undisciplined, hedonistic fucking male fucking pig, right? That's how I'm looked at. But a woman says, I want to have a baby. I want to have lots of babies. You go, girl. Yeah. Oh, this man wants to fuck a bunch of bitches? What a piece of garbage. I'm like, why? Why? And again, that's what I mean. It's because a man having multiple women looks bad. But a woman having multiple kids and wanting a family in is so heavily glorified, you know? But a man with multiple wives is looked at as a weird Muslim, or he lives in fucking Utah, piece of shit Mormon. And I'm like, I'm not religious. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a Mormon. I'm not in anything. I don't have any religious nothings. My stance is purely based on nature. That's it.
But that's what Patrice O'Neal said. So what do I want to say?
No, I still feel that way though. You know, even though Patrice said that, like at the same time, like my stance is that I don't want to be shamed for my nature. Just like a woman isn't shamed for wanting to have babies, because that's how I look at it. That's the equivalency. Why am I a piece of shit? Because I don't want to be monogamous. But a woman wants to be monogamous, then everybody's like, fuck yeah, you go, girl. Or just monogamy in general. Monogamy is so fucking horseshit. And here's the other thing, because, you know, I've been asked this question as well. So, would you be all right if your woman wanted to go fuck a bunch of other dudes or whatever the fuck? I'm like, first of all, if you're trying to replace me with your sexual escapades, I have a problem. And I even said this to her in the beginning. I remember, or when we, you know, first started really talking about this. I'm like, there was this other fucker that she ended up having sex with while we were together, you know, but not together, whatever the fuck, right? She ended up sleeping with somebody else. And I remember I was trying to talk to her. I was like, okay, so if you want to be with me and him at the same time, I don't really have a problem. Just don't bring STDs back to my fucking dick. You know, that's it. Like, that's all I was feeling. But I learned that the way she is, and the way most women are in general, and this is my problem, why I want a monogamous woman. Because I feel like most women are monogamous. I don't want to be with a dude. I've also said this too, oh, you just got to get with a woman that's like, no, I don't. No, I don't. That's the other problem. It's like, oh, because that one woman that brought up this whole thing about, like the woman that was debating me on other shit, she brought up the whole idea of monogamy is non-negotiable and you're not monogamous and you need to just, all right, I don't need to go get with a woman that's polyamorous. I don't need my girlfriend to be like me. Be with just me. But I'm not forcing her to do that. That's the other thing. If she was like me, which again, most women aren't, I don't have a problem with that. The only thing I gotta fight is, oh, does this dude have a bigger dick, or is he better at eating fucking pussy than I am? Blah, 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 bullshit. Whatever competition I have in my head. Those are just surface level things, all right? Is he more emotionally connected? Is he more this? Is he more that? I'm fighting my own insecurities. And she can choose whoever the fuck she wants to be with. But that's the problem. She doesn't operate that way. She operates with the monogamy spectrum. She doesn't operate with this, I want multiple dudes at the same time. It just doesn't work for her like that. It works for me like that, but it doesn't work for her like that. I want multiple women. She doesn't want multiple dudes. That's what I mean. It's like, so if, again, like, I'm not trying to replace her. There's no replacement. Same thing, like I said, if I was bisexual and my best friend came over and he sucked my fucking dick, I know how uncomfortable that sounds, but at the same time, I'm like, I remember me and her were even talking about that. You know, me and her were talking about that whole fucking thing. It's like, oh yeah, if you wanted to go with the dude, there's no problem there. And I'm like, wait, why? Why? Because there's no threat. And that's the issue. And me and her even talked about this too. She determined that this is the only problem with me having sex with another woman, is the threat level. That's why I said this is the problem. It's her insecurities that I'm not going to be security for. I'm not going to be security for your insecurities. I haven't said that bullshit line in fucking years. But that's what the fuck I was saying to her in the beginning. That's a disservice I'm doing. And that's what most men are doing. They're just, oh, you're the only woman in the world for me, and oh yeah, you're just so amazing, and all this shit. Like, shut the fuck up. It is bullshit. Complete bullshit. Like I'm the only girl in the world. Shut the fuck up. Horseshit, bullshit. And men keep trying to fucking have, like, the pressure to be a good guy is so fucking ridiculously high. That's why I said men are submitting. Men are not monogamous. We don't choose monogamy by nature. We choose it because it's practical or logical and it makes sense. Alright, but by nature, we are not. We are fighting our nature, and it's not even close to being appreciated at all. The suppression of a male nature, men are suppressing it like crazy, and women don't give a fuck. That's why I said that I have this nature that I hate women to some degree, because they don't even respect the fact that we're fucking holding it in for them. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. And I choose to not be. I'm not going to hold in my male nature just for my goddamn girlfriend. I'm not doing it. And yes, I sound that harsh. I sound that awful. I sound that, oh, you don't really love her then if you're not going to control. Shut the fuck up. I love my girlfriend to death. But I'm not going to step on my neck for her or any woman or anybody. I refuse to do so. That's why I said, it's like my brother got engaged and he's a piece of rotten shit. Piece of fucking shit. But he wants to be a good guy so badly just so he's loved. He's a pathetic slime. Fuck him. My brother is not an example of a good man. He's a piece of shit. And all he does is fucking hide it really good. All the other women that ended up leaving him smelled it. Smelled the blood in the water and ate him alive and spit him the fuck out. He got engaged. Oh, you just don't want to see him happy. I do want to see him happy. But I don't want to see him being full of shit. And that's what the fuck he is. Just like most of you fucking faggot men out here. You're all full of shit. Again, my male audience, fuck you fucking bitches. For real. You want to dislike my videos because I call you fucking full of shit niggas? Because you are? Fuck you. For real. Fuck you. You are full of shit. Embrace your masculinity and stop being such a fucking pussy.
with this fucking, I gotta be a good guy. I gotta be a good, you're not. What the fuck is this shit? Toxic masculinity alert. Toxic masculinity alert. Is it really? Honestly? Is that what the fuck you took away from whatever the fuck I'm saying? You fucking idiots? Whoever the fuck wants to say that dumbass shit to me? I'm just saying, this is the big fucking issue. It's always been an issue. Men and women have been at fucking war forever and ever and ever. Because we're not the same. But we want to be together. But we don't know how to be. Still haven't figured it out till this day. And that's the thing that makes me sad. Not sad, but just like, oh God. It's never gotten better. Like, men and women have not changed. They have not changed. Culture and society and civilization and agriculture and all this other shit, that's the only thing that changed. But male nature is male nature, and women nature is women nature. Like, there's no difference. That's why we're still having so many goddamn problems. If we were so fucking compatible, why are we having so many issues? You know? But it's just human beings overall. Again, we don't know how to really be together. But I don't like speaking in general. Fuck the goddamn lesbians and gays and transsexuals and everything and their relationships. I'm talking about men and women in general. All right? Just men and women. The dynamics between men and women. That's not even what I fucking feel at this point. I have no problem with any of those relationships, by the way. Disclaimer, disclaimer. I'm not a bigot. Alright? You can do whatever the fuck you want with your life. And I do want to say that actually in general. It's like, yes, in general, fucking everybody, we suck at relationships. Just overall. People suck at being together. People have expectations all the time. No compassion towards each other. That was the other thing that me and my girlfriend were talking about. I don't have compassion towards certain women in their natures and their evil. Same thing with her. You know, that whole compassion issue is still such a fucking problem. It's humongous. Like, you're not supposed to show compassion towards evil. You know, you're not supposed to. And that's what I mean. And those moments are so difficult. When I feel like my girlfriend is just an evil fucking bitch. And sometimes I feel this fucking something in my gut. And same thing with me. When she feels like I'm an evil piece of shit male. Alright? There's no compassion. There's no compassion. Because I don't think compassion's that's not real. You only show compassion towards somebody that made a mistake that you made. But you don't really show compassion towards somebody that's making mistakes that you haven't made. Oh, I see. Don't worry, I've been there. I know what you're going through. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Well, how about be compassionate towards somebody that you don't know what they're going through? But, you know, people say that all the time. I don't know what you're going through, but I'm here for you. That's because you're not getting hurt by that individual. How about be compassionate and forgiving towards somebody that's hurting you on a consistent fucking basis? Then we can talk about how amazingly compassionate you are. Because I'm not impressed. You were compassionate towards a child that wasn't hurting you. So fucking what? You know? Be compassionate towards somebody that is hurting you and you're not relating to. And then we can have a conversation. And I can be like, wow, that person has a real big heart. But so far, I haven't met that individual that has the ability to fucking do that. Capability and ability, I just combined into a word. Capability. You don't have the capability and ability. You don't have the ability to do that. You know, but yeah, most people don't. And I don't think anybody does. I haven't met that person like I just said, so excuse me again. I've never met that person that's like, oh yeah, I know how to be compassionate towards somebody that is an evil piece of shit human being that I have no semblance of relating to. Jeffrey Dahmer, for example, all right? Nobody has compassion for that evil piece of shit, fucking cannibalist, fucking rapist, motherfucking murderer. Nobody does. You know, and I'm not comparing my girlfriend's nature to Jeffrey Dahmer or whatever, but there's evil there that I feel. So, to be compassionate requires me to relate to the individual. So I have to relate to the evil. But I don't have my girlfriend's evil. I don't have my girlfriend's woman nature evil. So I don't know how to relate to that. All I have is my own male nature evil, but I don't even think it's evil. I think she asked me a question this morning about something. She's like, what do I like about women's nature? Or is there anything that I see in women's nature that I have? Or no, is there anything that I see in women's nature that I don't have that I do like? And I'm like, that's a great question. You know? Because what did I say that I loved about women's nature? I said, I love the softness, the warmth, the love, and the care. But I'm like, do I not have the ability to do those things? Right? Does a woman have a particular warmth to her that a man doesn't have? Yeah, I guess. Yes, it's there. You know? Like the hug and the warmth of a woman versus the hug and the warmth of a man. Like, I don't want a man to hug me, you know, versus a woman. So, I don't know. These are all complicated fucking problems, and these are all complicated topics and everything, but goddamn, I don't even know what I went over in this video. It's pretty good again. Yeah, it's so lovely. Love it so much with all my heart and soul. Yeah. Oh, goddamn, damn, son, motherfucking damn. I have arrived at my first fucking fuck. Oh, man. Alright, well, anyways, that was a fun fucking hell yeah. Until goodbye.